welcome to my studio. I am glad to have you guys back. Today I wanted to sit down and share a little video just about how I organize my art supplies. I love seeing other people's studios, seeing how other people do things. So I thought it would be fun just to kind of show you how I do things in my tiny little studio. It's about, I think my husband measured and told me that my studio is about 600, no, that's not right. Is about 160 square feet. Maybe that's right. I wanted to show you some of the things that I use to keep my art supplies organized, or as organized as I can, that are just kind of repurposed things that I thought maybe would give you some ideas for your own space, especially if you're in a small space like me. You need to kind of maximize storage. So one of the biggest things that I use is this Pepsi crate that you can see, and I keep all my paints in this. It's the easiest way for me to keep them together but still separate. Like I have oils in one side, acrylics in the other, and they can all kind of just stay nice in little slots all together on my desk. The second thing that I use is repurposed pottery. You can kind of see, to carry all, like, these are any kind of like crayons that you might have, Conte crayons or anything like that. These are like charcoals, and then just ink pens, random colored pencils. I got all of these at the thrift store for like 25-50 cents. So repurposed pottery, little pieces, you can usually find those at pretty much any thrift store. This next thing I actually don't use anymore, but I wanted to show you because I used to use it. I bought this little piece at a local like home decor store, small business that's in town. So now I keep all of my little collage pieces in this, and just keep this on my desk. Any scraps that I want to save that I might use in art later on. But I actually used to keep them in this, and I wanted to show this because this is a really cheap option. This is a silver little tray, like, you know, I don't think, it's not real silver because I got it at the thrift store. But if you are looking for like a little tray or a dish or something, it's nice to be able to stack collage pieces in. And like I said, this was a couple bucks at a thrift store, so silver pieces are always a nice option. My pastels and anything that's chalky, I keep in these printing press trays. I got these at a local antique shop. You can find them on Facebook Marketplace a lot of times, local antique shops. I haven't ever seen any in thrift stores because they become a little more popular in recent years. I do think Hobby Lobby sells like a reproduction kind of thing, but I keep my chalk pastels in one and then my oil pastels in another. So it's nice to be able to organize them by color and have them all together in one spot and be able to see them all at once. These stack nicely too, mine, well, kind of nicely, and I can just put these right on my desk and put whichever one I'm using on top at the time. Another option that's kind of, I was able to do this for free, and I think you probably can too if you look around, but if you have an old piece of furniture or even see an old piece of furniture on the side of the road, these are drawers that came out of like an old vanity that was totally unsalvageable, that somebody had put on the side of the road. And you can see the drawers, sorry about the light, but you can see like this one only had one handle. I was able to take the drawers out of it. The furniture piece was not salvageable, but I use this now just for like business cards, and these are actually the matches that I use to light my little candle in here. And then I have another one that I use for inks, spray inks, my bottles of ink, And these actually stack too, if you want to stack them. So you could stack them like that. But drawer inserts out of older pieces of furniture that are really no longer salvageable are a good option. This next thing that I use is for my larger, I guess collage, but also like book covers that I have in like just larger pieces of paper. And it's actually the drawer, I think, out of an old cash register. Again, it's the same concept as the drawers out of the vanity that I just showed you. Even if you find something that's not salvageable, you might be able to find something, a piece of it that you can salvage, like this drawer out of that cash register. And sometimes, this I got actually at an antique shop locally, and I paid like $2 or $3 for it. Sometimes you can ask local antique shops if you're looking for something specific, at least I've found, if there's something that they might be just throwing out or getting rid of. I have asked them, for example, like old books and old papers and letters that they find at estate sales. A lot of times I found that, at least here, my local antique shops will throw things away that they don't think will sell. And so sometimes I've been able to find stuff really cheap, or they've even given it to me. Like this was something that, a couple dollars, they were going to throw the whole thing away because it was just an estate sale. And it was completely ruined, but this drawer out of it was salvageable. The last couple things that I have are pretty, like, just standard, I think, for a lot of artists. Mason jars work great as water containers, you know, just holding your water for rinsing out your brushes and everything. So that's what I use exclusively, is mason jars for that. Another thing that I recycle and use, these actually had canned beans in them at some point, but baby food jars work just as well. If you're gonna do any kind of like water your paints down or do any pour painting or anything like that, these work great. They have lids so you can shake them, and they work great just to recycle and use for watering down your paints. Of course, you guys have seen my vintage lunch tin already that I use as my travel art kit. So another thing, you could also use this for storage for sure. If you wanted to put anything else in it, it would be great for storing inks or anything like that that are in little bottles. There's lots of space in there, and you could kind of fit a lot in there in a space, and put a lid on it. I do have two things that are store-bought, just like things, one's from Walmart, one's from IKEA, that I was going to show you. I use these little boxes from IKEA. They are called the Kuggis. It's Kuggis, and they come with the lids, which I really like, and you can store stuff in them, put the lid on it. I really like they're flat across the top. You can stack them multiple high, and they're really solid acrylic, I think is what this material is. If you can hear it, they're really thick, really solid, really durable. So highly suggest these. They're really affordable at IKEA. For like open basket storage, I found these storage containers at Walmart about a year ago. I'll have to look and see if you can buy them online. But again, they're like a thicker material. They do have a little bit of a pattern, like a basket weave pattern, which is pretty. But they were very affordable, and they work nice for storing things. I used Dollar Tree containers for a while, which are still a good option, but I just find that for me, and as hard as I am on stuff, they don't last up if I'm constantly taking stuff in, pulling stuff out. They're up on the shelf, they lose their shape, they bend, and kind of get wonky, at least on me. I am in a space with no climate control, I think is what you would call it. No heat, no AC, so, you know, things are shrinking and expanding and different things in my containers too. I do have a few other things that are just from Hobby Lobby that are large The compartments that are on my desk that you might have seen in my Organize With Me video, that's from Hobby Lobby. They still make it, at least it was in my local store last week. I checked to see. So that's still an option. And then I do still have like some metal wire file organizing that hangs on the wall. So those, and Hobby Lobby has lots of options for those. I keep different like watercolor papers and stuff like that. I hope this helped you guys and gave you some ideas of how you can organize your own studio. I know that organization is really important for my creative process, being able to find what I need when I need it, being able to see my supplies out. That's, most of my containers are open because I do like to see what I have. I do tend to forget when I'm creating, and it's easier for me if I see something that I wasn't even thinking about using, but can grab it if it's easily accessible. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me in my studio today. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.